It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Browns and the Cardinals, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
Off of play action, it's Watson.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 30. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now it's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. To throw is Watson. Being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Throwing now is Murray. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And this is going to be a Cardinals 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Murray now on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's more. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray going deep for Hopkins. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Fourth and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Now a man who punted for the Browns in 2015, Andy Leon, to kick it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Grant. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson off play action. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 30 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Moore now to return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid, and, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw is Murray. Now he'll escape to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Malik McDowell able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
We got three down.
This is our time. Our time.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Shotgun now from Murray. He finds his man, complete. It's Moore. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Let's go.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. And caught right side, Green. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Murray to air it out again. steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard.
The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. 5-5. Hey, come on.
To throw, it's Murray. Touchdown, Cardinals!
Kyler Murray with a touchdown throw to DeAndre Hopkins. And the Cardinals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point good by Prater, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
Hey, baby, let's get here.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Browns. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that should set them up well for the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter.
They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Flush to his right. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Murray. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
There we go, baby. There we go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him, throw that challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So for Kevin Stefanski, a smart decision to throw the flag.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Murray from midfield. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Andy Lee now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. They run again with Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Watson.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Jalen Thompson picks it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
That was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
After the turnover, here's Murray.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Murray. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter. Over the middle here to Brown.
And the Cardinals are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Now Murray again. And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Cards are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth.
And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
Here we go.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
A gain of 3, second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here.
And he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They go with Chubb on second down. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end Harrison Bryant, the intended target.
That'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. Moore now on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
1st down, Murray. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Murray. Gets this to Moore. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Murray to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd down. To throw is Murray. He's got Connor. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 37. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Murray. On the right side, caught by Green. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. They'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Prater's kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Cleveland offense making their way out. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it down.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Devon Kennard in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A give. This is Chubb. And some space here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.